Hi, it's Jonathan. What I want to do today is expand upon some concepts that I've put out there for people so that there's a little bit better of an understanding behind what I'm trying to relay to you. Number one question, why am I drawing upon the teachings of Christ? If I never met the guy and I don't know if he existed, right? Why would I do that? I never did meet him. I don't know, what really happened as far as a detailed, written down history. So why do I pull from it? Why am I talking about him? Based upon what I am learning individually. You see, I was protected from religion in the Bible. Never read it. Maybe read the first page of the Old Testament and it disgusted me so much that I put the whole thing down. I've heard catchphrases put out there, throughout the media and whatever Christ was supposedly teaching and all that. But I was protected from it through the synchronicity of reality. Based upon what I am taught in the woods and just in life in general, the more that I'm taught, the more that I'm learning, the more I understand what Christ was saying. I mean, from the ground up. I may say it differently, but I understand it. And I'm not saying that I have a belief system that I understand it, because I know there are a lot of people that are like, yeah, I understand it too. That's not what I mean. I truly understand it. So, one thing I know is that somebody knew. Somebody, at some time, knew what I'm learning better than I know it. And you can only know that when you know it. You see, I don't know if the name is Jesus. My instinct says that's a deity used to possess people. Do you accept Jesus in your heart? And then that's a willing contract because you aren't aware enough to question who Jesus was. See, phonetic symbols have meaning. If his name wasn't Jesus, screw the translation. You're letting Jesus in your heart. A name. Do you understand the significance of that? You're letting a name identifying a personality. I don't care what they conned you into believing. Jesus means this and that. It means the, whatever. Forget that. You're also told the Statue of Liberty means freedom. Anyway, somebody at some time knew. And how do I know this person was connected to creation? Well, from what I'm learning. Somebody knew the correct way to perceive this reality. Somebody knew what it was and how to handle it, how to overcome it. Somebody did. I know the Illuminati didn't come up with a lot of those parables. They couldn't have, because if they could, meaning they had the understanding, the knowledge that builds the foundation reaching the conclusion in these parables, if they knew that, they wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now. Let me say that again. If these people that created religion knew and understood the meaning behind those parables, they would not be doing what they're doing right now. Therefore, I know that somebody knew outside of this control system. What the name was, I don't know. Based upon what I know from Spirit, whoever gave those parables would never be concerned with being anointed or being called the Christ. So, by deduction, based upon what I know, the man existed. I can only infer that they stole the teachings of this man to sell this pagan worship of Satan. What is Satan? Satan's a consciousness. Satan is neither male nor female. It's both. If you watch the movie The Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson nailed the essence of Satan with Satan's appearance that seemed in a bizarre way neither male nor female, but strangely attractive. That character, the hooded character, very mysterious, very logical, very sensual. In other words, it exhibited both male and female characteristics, and I don't mean like a gay man would. I mean in a very mysterious, sensual, intelligent way. That's what you're dealing with. So it will be male to those who want to perceive it as male, and female to those who want to perceive it as female. It is neither, and it is both. Here's the problem with the Bible. Think of riding a bike. Imagine writing a book about riding a bike. You lay it all out, a really thick book, telling you the nature of the bike and how to ride it, how to balance what the bike is, what you should do, where you can go, how to properly ride a bike. And you give this to people, and they've never ridden a bike, but you make them memorize the book, forwards and backwards. There's thousands of pages in the book about riding a bike, and they all memorize it real well. Imagine also in this book that the people who wrote it did not want you to ride a bike. So because they don't want you to ride the bike, they have to be the authors of a book on how to ride it. Does that make sense? I mean, logically, that would be the strategy, would it not? If you want to control people and keep them from being able to ride a bike, then you have to be the one in charge of all the information about the bike and all the instructions on how to ride it. So what you're going to do is you're going to mess it up. Imagine adding things in like, to properly ride the bike, you have to make sure that you lean all the way to the left. And remember, you're not good enough to ride the bike. You don't really deserve to ride the bike. And the bike is angry with you, and you're going to have to beg the bike for mercy, and the odds that you're going to be able to do it successfully are almost nil. But memorize the book anyway. And you have all kinds of contradictions in this book. But the people can't argue with the contradictions because they've never ridden a bike. And then say somebody comes along who's ridden a bike. And this person goes up to somebody who's memorized a book on riding a bike, but has never ridden one. And you get into a conversation about the bike. Now, you've ridden one, it's natural to you. But this person has been forced to memorize a book with fear and shame and guilt about the whole thing on how to ride a bike, but they've never done it. I guarantee you that you would get into an argument. It would probably go something like this. Here, let me take a look at your book. I've ridden a bike, let me just take a look at it. You start reading through the book, and you're like, whoa, hang on a second. And they say, what? You say, what is this? Lean all the way to the left? Sir, you would fall if you did that.
No. I know. I memorized that. That's chapter 3, paragraph 9. You must lean all the way to the left in order to successfully ride the bike.
Sir, that's crazy. You'll fall.
No. You're evil. This is the word of the bike. The bike wrote this, and this is its word, and it says that to ride it, it knows, and you're to lean to the left.
Sir, I guarantee you the bike didn't write this. Here, look at this other chapter. Let me show you something. You see in this chapter how it talks about 90-degree angles? How it would be better to be positioned in a 90-degree angle on